Anxiety, sadness, grief, and worry are not new to humanity. They are not signs of weak faith, nor are they something that only a few people experience. They are part of the human condition. Allah created the human heart sensitive, reflective, and deeply affected by the events of life. What distinguishes the believer is not the absence of hardship, but where the heart turns when hardship arrives. It is narrated from the early generations that a man once entered the masjid very late for prayer. He stood in the back rows, as the prayer had already begun. Verses of the Qur'an were being recited that spoke about grief, sorrow, and turning to Allah alone. As these verses were recited, the one leading the prayer began to weep. His crying was not quiet or restrained. It was deep and intense, so much so that it could be heard from the back rows. He tried to gather himself and continue reciting, but the verses would reach his heart again, and he would begin to cry once more. There was no microphone, no sound system, nothing to amplify his voice. Yet his weeping could be heard throughout the masjid. This teaches us something powerful about their relationship with the Qur'an. If we reflect on this moment, we might ask ourselves, what was he crying about? Was it the pain of separation mentioned in the verses? Was it a personal hardship that no one else knew about? Was it grief from something in his past or fear of something in his future? The answer is that it could have been any of these, and it could have been all of them at the same time. That was the nature of their relationship with the Qur'an. The Qur'an spoke directly to their hearts, wherever they were and whatever they were going through. The Qur'an does not speak to only one type of pain. It speaks to every pain. It reaches the believer exactly where they are at the exact moment they need it. Different chapters of the Qur'an speak to us at different times in our lives. One chapter may bring comfort during loss. Another may bring strength during fear. Another may bring clarity during confusion. The Qur'an is not a book you outgrow. It is a book that grows with you. Many people today ask an important question: does the Qur'an cure sadness, anxiety, and emotional distress? To answer this properly, we must approach it with balance and understanding. Islam teaches us to distinguish between prevention and restoration. Prevention means protecting the heart before it collapses. Restoration means healing the heart after it has been wounded. Without a doubt, the Qur'an is a powerful means of prevention. A heart that is disconnected from the Qur'an is vulnerable to emptiness, confusion, and despair. The Messenger of Allah described the one who has nothing of the Qur'an in their heart as being like a ruined house. A house without foundation, structure, or protection. Meaning gives life purpose, purpose gives stability, and stability protects against despair. The Qur'an gives meaning. It answers the deepest questions of existence: why we are here, why we suffer, what patience means, and where hope truly comes from. Allah describes the Qur'an as a healing for what is in the hearts. This healing includes grief, anxiety, fear, emptiness, and hopelessness. At the same time, Islam does not teach extremes. Saying that the Qur'an is a cure does not mean dismissing all other permissible means of healing. The human being is made up of spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical dimensions, and each has rights. Taking care of the body does not contradict faith. Seeking support does not weaken reliance on Allah. Using lawful means does not replace trust in Allah. Rather, it completes it. The Qur'an is not removed from this process. It is the foundation of it. Islam does not teach us to tell a suffering person to do nothing except read, nor does it teach us to forget the Qur'an and rely only on worldly solutions. The balanced path is to strengthen the heart with the Qur'an, turn to Allah with supplication, use lawful and wise means, and care for the body and mind responsibly. Neglecting the Qur'an harms the soul. Neglecting responsibility harms the person. The believer walks a path of balance. There is a powerful supplication taught by the Messenger of Allah for distress, anxiety, and sadness. Whoever says it with sincerity and understanding, Allah replaces their hardship with relief. The meaning of this supplication begins by affirming servitude, acknowledging that we belong entirely to Allah and that everything is under His control. It affirms belief in divine decree, recognizing that Allah's judgment is just and His decisions are wise. Then comes the heart of the supplication, asking Allah to make the Qur'an the spring of the heart, the light of the chest, the remover of grief, and the reliever of anxiety. Grief refers to pain from the past. Anxiety refers to fear of the future. The Qur'an is asked to heal both. This is not empty recitation and not mere words. It is a relationship with the Qur'an. Here is a sincere challenge: if the Qur'an becomes part of your daily life, even in small portions, return after a few weeks and examine your heart. Look for calm, clarity, and awareness of Allah. The Qur'an rebuilds what hardship destroys. A neglected heart becomes a ruined house, but a heart connected to the Qur'an becomes a living home. The Qur'an speaks to every situation: loss and grief, fear and anxiety, success and humility, strength and weakness. It gives guidance from Allah and the examples of those who pleased Him. You are never alone in your pain, and you are never without direction. The Qur'an clears the fog. Clarity is a mercy, and clarity gives direction. No book can replace what Allah placed in His words. Overcoming anxiety does not mean escaping life. It means placing your heart where it belongs. Leave what you cannot control in Allah's hands and hold firmly to what He has given you, His words. May Allah make the Qur'an the spring of our hearts, the light of our chests, the remover of our grief, and the reliever of our distress. Ameen.